everybody. How
No.
is everybody doing? Welcome to Transgender again.
Yeah.
You know what? This week we are talking in gratitude of, no, sorry, in attitude of gratitude, which is a really incredible theme. And of course, it's the time of the year for gratitude. Okay. So I will let Jimmy start. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So welcome everyone to another episode of Trans Gurus. Ella, our uh, administrator, is telling us that our page is growing exponentially,
Mhm.
and I think that the main reason is I think that a lot of our content that we create is good, valid information that can help people along their journey in life, be it trans or otherwise, anybody. This is all good information. There's a lot of wisdom on this panel, and Raji is at another transgender event this evening, so she's not going to be with us. So with the four of us, there's a tremendous amount of wisdom that's available for everyone, and so just it's our pleasure to share your time with us. So tonight we're going to talk about an attitude of gratitude. And I know that's a cliche and people say it all the time, but what does it mean? What does gratitude mean? Gratitude, simply put, means you appreciate what you have. And we need to learn to take inventory of what we have, not what we don't have. And um, so if we're if we're if we appreciate what we have, um, that stabilizes our life. If we're constantly in search of better, we're not going to enjoy what we have. So there's a balance between moving forward and at the same time stop and smell the roses. And
Mhm.
that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Uh, in the United States, it's Thanksgiving coming up in a couple days. That's why we're broadcasting on Tuesday night, not Wednesday night. And just to take a pause, we all sometimes get on this hamster wheel and, we wake up one morning and we're dead. So take time. It's important out of a 24-hour day, time to eat, exercise, pray, learn, work, rest, eat, and also take a moment to just step back and look at your life. Look at where we're at, what we've accomplished. All of us. If someone has the wherewithal to be watching these videos, has already accomplished a lot in their life, because that tells me that if someone is hungry for wisdom, they're on the right path.
Mhm.
So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm sure we all got a lot to say. So back to Ella.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Thanksgiving is of course something special, but yeah, every day is somehow Thanksgiving. Bobby.
Yeah. I know we've talked about this before, and uh, the last time I checked a couple of days ago, we had over 23,000 subscribers, and it's like,
I
oh
think
my gosh,
23 200 now.
how many?
23 200,000.
Okay. Uh, that just, I'm really thankful for that because, for one thing, that's like over five times the number of people in the little town I grew up. So it's like, holy smokes, that's like a whole city of people in my book. And so I'm really grateful that uh, that people are finding their way here, and they want to keep up with us. And I would just encourage everybody to please subscribe, because it really it means a lot, and we do try real hard to develop content that is going to have some value. And so whenever I think about gratitude, I kind of default And I remember the first time I shared this, but Oprah, the famous philosopher Oprah, says, if you're grateful for what you have, you will always have more. If you focus on what you don't have, you will never have enough. I think, no, I take that back. She says, if you focus on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. And that just really resonated deeply with me. And I had been that way uh, for years before I read her advice there. And I remember sharing that with somebody and says, "Oh, that's just this billionaire trying to make us peasants just be really grateful for the crumbs that we've got." And they were just so condescending about my position on gratitude. And it's like, oh no, I'm talking to a person that is consumed with what they don't have in their life. And something as simple as gratitude, oh my gosh, that'll carry you such a long way, because no matter what problem I run into, what issues happen in the news or happen in my community, um, uh, I can. It's like I can always see my way forward. There's a pathway through it, because I can look at the things that I have that I'm grateful for, that give me opportunity to do this or do that, uh, because I do try to build my life on gratitude, and I don't get consumed with what I don't have. And I think in the trans community, where I see that most often is with people who compare themselves to these beauty queens or trans people or something like that. And, you can find these websites that just have all these fabulously gorgeous trans people on it. And you can get consumed. And I'll never have that. I will never be that way. Uh, and the truth of the matter is, as long as you think like that, that's true. One of the smartest things I ever did was to decide to quit comparing myself to anybody else and just make it my business to be 1% better in anything tomorrow, 1% better. And I mean that anyway. Like I stood up a little longer. I walked a little longer. Uh, I found $20 and I put it in my savings account. You know, it's just any little thing like that, 1%, just to improve 1% of my game every day, and to quit worrying about what I don't have or how poorly I compare to yeah, yeah. I've got a couple of friends that are really big in the pageants, the Miss Trans Universe and all of this stuff. And I love them dearly, and I spend a lot of time with them. And they're, it's like, you go for that girl, you go for that girl. And I'm really happy for them. But it's like, no, I'm not a pageant type. I never have been and never will be. But uh, I just try to make myself better. And so that's one of the ways that gratitude manifests itself in my life every day, is that I really am grateful for what I have. And because I am, I can see ways that I can make myself 1% better today than I was yesterday. And that really pays huge dividends in my book, in terms of, um, I am at a point. I was talking to my ex the other day. Don't get me started on that. She's really worried about my soul. And it's like, oh, please, please stop it. Uh, uh, it's like, I have never been healthier. I've never been happier. I've never had more abundance in my life. I've never enjoyed life more than I'm enjoying it right now. And that just comes from a steady diet of gratitude and trying to be just 1% better than I was yesterday. And and the thing that really astounds me, and it astounded her, is when I talk about I have never, never been in better health. Uh, and I tell you, that is, if you're not, you should be really grateful for your health, because I tell you, when that starts to fail, uh, uh, you're going to wish you had it back. And so when I look around, there is really a whole lot to be grateful for in our lives. And uh, I'm um, I'm spending Thanksgiving with most of my kids and grandchildren live here in town with me, and we're all getting together. It's a big crowd. I have four grown kids. They all married really well, so that's eight adults, and then 10 grandchildren, and that's 18 people, and none of them would be in this world if it hadn't been well, kissing my ex the first time, but I'm not going to go there. But but still, it's like I know I'm really blessed to have that many family members that support me and want to spend Thanksgiving with me. And my family of origin isn't like that at all. None of them anywhere in the same state with them, I don't think. But the family that I've created is more than enough for me. So I've got plenty to be thankful for, but I spend every day thinking about what I have to be thankful for and grateful for, because it helps me decide what to do next. And that's why when you have gratitude, you will always have more, because it helps you see the next right thing to do, because you're surrounded with opportunities and resources and encouragement when you look at that stuff. So it just builds and builds.
Yeah.
Back to you, Ella and Jimmy.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Now, Jeannie started very important point that you have to be thankful for you have to be grateful for what you achieved and what you have.
Mhm,
And I think that is extremely important. It's very important. That is the whole basic of everything. And it's not only the financial, or it's your life, it's your experience, it's your family, it's your friends, it's your everything.
mhm.
It's a very large part. I mean, it's very funny because I was just traveling a couple of weeks ago, and it was with someone which I know for many, many years. And we had a really interesting conversation. And I was talking about my experience for many, many years ago. And all of a sudden, he comes to me and said, "Oh my God, Ellie, it's incredible because you can talk about so many things
You
and
can.
in so many places."
Well,
And I was telling, "Yeah, I'm really grateful for it." And then he said, "All my life I spent in the same place. And now I'm trying to catch up." And I said, "Well, I can give you a couple of tips if you want." But it's really incredible because your experience is something beautiful. Yes, of course, you always have to dream something. Being content of what you have is something very, very important. Looking at the future and trying to, it's something very important too. So dreaming and yeah, but just don't overdo it. And one thing is very important for me is that be content what you have in spite of whatever goes around you.
mhm,
And this is something I've learned since I'm very, very small. I come from a family which was probably a bit privileged. And or at least I thought we were privileged. My family had some changes because of what happened in our environment. But I've always known people when I thought that was privilege, they were even more privileged than I do. And I mean, some of them was really very, very privileged.
Mhm.
But in the middle, there were people which were not privileged at all. And they were great people.
Mhm.
Everybody has got its own journey. Why are we here? Certainly for a reason. Do we have to know what that reason is? Probably some people do. Do we have to tell others what that reason? Probably not. It's private, it's yours. So, and that has been all my basis for my whole life. Accept the others the way they are.
Mhm.
Some are super rich, some are super poor, some are different, many different things. And that is something that, when I was in international school, we all come from different countries. We all had different religions, but we talked with each other and we appreciate each other. And it's really something very interesting because some of these people I know for 50 years and more, they're still my big, big friends. Even though there was many, many changes for me and for them, and they all come from different parts of life. And some of them had incredibly beautiful growth lives with everything that they could expect and more, and some didn't. Some had issues, some were, and in those points you can embrace them and you tell them, hey, be positive. You're going to get over it. You're going to be, so you can give something to them too. I try to do that very much, but never forget, the life is yours. When you talk about gratitude, it's your life's gratitude, yours. It's very personal. Of course, you can have gratitude towards your family and towards everybody else. And you do, I mean, obviously, because you are knit together, but it's your life. And that is so important. Although you always have to intercommunicate with everybody else. But it's what touches you, which is, I mean, I've got my kids and they are absolutely fantastic and gorgeous and everything, but I will never be able to replace their lives. I can help them. I can give them support on everything, but they have to live their own lives.
Mhm.
That you have to understand. So for me, gratitude is mainly towards what you've achieved, what you've gone through, and what you've helped, because helping other people gives you some kind of internal help. It comes back to you. So that is how I feel, but it's up to you all to to discuss that.
No,
And yeah, go ahead.
no, I really like what I'm hearing. Bobby was talking about when we fall in the rabbit hole of comparing ourselves to others, and uh, someone may, and I think about this from time to time. I think all humans are given the same amount of eggs. They're just divvied up in different baskets, you know? So the person who has, and I'm an arborist here in South Florida. I take care of trees. I go to some pretty pretty hefty mansions, and I don't think that those people are any happier than I am, or the folks that I remember one time. I'm with a lot of my friends, my brother-in-law, and we're on a sailboat in the Bahamas. And this is an old broken down down sailboat that the captain bought from a U.S. Customs auction. It used to be a drug smuggling sailboat. Sank. Captain Tom rebuilt it, and we're anchored off an island in the Bahamas. And we were out on the reef all day. Got snapper and grouper and lobsters and conch. We're drinking rums and pineapple, and the barbecue grills hanging off the back of the boat with lobster tails cooking on it.
Oh,
And
wow.
off in the distance was a like one of these 200 and something foot mega yachts. And we're sitting on the sailboat eating this food and then smoking cigars and stuff. And we're thinking, who do you think is having more fun? Who's having a more in-depth experience?
Mhm.
The people inside that yacht and the air conditioning with all artificial surroundings, or we're sitting on the back of the sailboat under the stars with the you can see the shooting stars and the sound of the waves and the wind. It was just magical. So you can't put a value on that. So it doesn't require money or excessive resources to enjoy life. Our uh, our options are limited by our own imagination. So when we compare if we were to compare ourselves to the people on that yacht, then we'd be pulling our hair out. But we were just enjoying our own experience in a very unique way. And I think if you want to be honest about it, the only person we should compare ourselves to is to our own potential.
Yeah.
And we all deep down inside know what our potential is.
Yeah.
And I know when I go to the gym, I know what my potential is as far as picking up weight. But if I'm going to grow my potential, I got to go beyond what I think I can do, and that's how you grow. And uh, 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 talking about money, I think energy energy is the true currency of the universe. Your energy is the true currency of the universe, and it doesn't require any money to have uh, a good energy, a good aura around you. And something else we can think about too. The true value of someone isn't their bank account. The true value of someone is based on the value that we add to others. And I just want to close with one thing, talking about the attitude of gratitude. A kid was complaining to his mom that he had no shoes until he saw a kid that had no feet. Ella.
Absolutely. It is really important. That is really something. Yeah, everything is relative in life. And you not necessarily know the karma of other people. There might be someone which has got like you were telling on the Bahamas or wherever you are, and you've got this absolutely gorgeous boat, but probably it's just a lonely person, very lonely person. I know some of them, by the way. Bobby, your turn.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sure that's true. Um, um, what it takes to acquire a yacht like that and then keep it. uh, um, yeah, there's an awful lot that is not really seen in that world that mask all of the glamour that you want to attach to it. And you're exactly right. You're far better off um, having rum and coconut and pineapple and lobsters grilling on the back of the boat with friends that you love. Gosh, I wish I could have been there so badly. It's like if you'll ever go out on that trip again, let me know. I'll see how fast I can get down there because that really sounds like heaven to me. Um, I was, I'm just, um, we try to not get uh, real involved with politics and religion right now. And I had a really interesting thing happen to me last week and then spill over into this Monday. I was in a board meeting. Uh, there's a residential psychiatric treatment facility in Cincinnati that I work with, and I'm on their board, um, and I'm especially concerned about kids in the foster program. And if you're having trouble finding anything to be grateful for in your life, I would just recommend that you go to any facility that is populated by kids in the foster care system, and you will be astounded at all you have that they wish they had had. And if you have been blind to the things you need to be grateful for, there's nothing like being surrounded by kids who are in the foster care system. So anyhow, so I work real hard with those kids. I identify with them very closely. But I'm driving back home and I get a call from my congressman's office. It was like, holy smokes, this kind of stuff doesn't happen to me very often. And it's like, oh, yeah, we want to know how the community's doing. Can you come meet with us yesterday? Um, and it'll be off the record. The congressman wants to talk about what he's seeing and wants to know your thoughts about how that's going to impact everybody. And I'm going to skip that part because um, it's going to be bad. I'll just put it that way. And what what I do though is I just feel immediately I'm looking around the room at the people that are in this with me. I'm looking around the community with the groups I have relationships with. I look around my city with all of the groups who don't belong to the trans community, but they belong to a demographic that is going to feel some pain too. And I just realized, oh my gosh, there's half of the people in my city uh, uh, have a lot in common with me, and we're going to be allies in all of this. And so, just in the midst of hearing some bad news about what to expect in 50 days, I'm also filled with gratitude for what I have to help me get through whatever happens. And, and I can be encouraged because I'm not the only one going through this. And to be grateful for what we have and to wake up every day and be able to take inventory and say, what's the next right thing for me to do? And I've got all of these gifts, people gifts, uh, uh, energy gifts like Jimmy's talking about. I am surrounded with uh, positive energy and positive resources to help me see the next right thing to do. And so I just want to point that out again as really my most serious message about gratitude and Thanksgiving is that um, you have to have that attitude or you're going to miss out. Your tendency to get consumed by the darkness is going to be a whole lot higher than if you can see a little bit of light here and a little bit of light there, and you're going to work toward a little bit of light rather than taking a deep dive down that dark hole. And you can't see those things unless you uh, try to develop a daily habit of gratitude. And it's like, oh gosh, what do I have to work with? And there's so many people that are like that. Um, uh, I think about farmers. Uh, Farmers are really incredible people because they want to match wits with Mother Nature. It's like, okay, give me your best shot. This is what I'm going to do and my game plan. And, you know, and they're just there's so many people in this world that are matching wits with something in their environment. And gratitude just goes so far in helping you see what you're surrounded with and what you have to address those challenges. And I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful for Jimmy. I'm grateful for Ella. I'm grateful for Raji. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I look forward to being with you all each week. Um,
Mm.
and I'm grateful for that. And it really helps me in my day-to-day life. And maybe that's why people keep subscribing, because we accidentally say something that's helpful to them too. Anyhow, I know our time is short, and I don't want to cut Jimmy off before she has to leave.
Bobby, I have to tell you, you just point one point for me, which is crucial. It's that daily gratitude feeling, that daily feeling that every day that you thank because you achieved something, that little win of every day, and you
Mhm.
should be proud of it. Sure, there will be dark moments. Are they so dark, or are we making them dark? Sometimes our fears take over, and it makes things a little bit blacker and darker and more, and which are probably not even there. Fear is a very, very, very important thing. Don't forget that, because and it takes a lot of your freedom away, because all of a sudden you feel bounded by something. It's probably sometimes not as bad as you think. Don't forget that little, oh, thank God moment
Right.
every
And
day.
that's why I mention it, because it's going to be real easy to focus on what you don't have and what you're losing. It's going to be real easy.
Yeah.
And you'll be blind to all you do have.
Absolutely. Just 2 days ago, so I just came from a foreign country, India, which is an incredible country. It's an incredible country because it's a country of extreme opposites. You have the richest people in the world. You've got the really the poorest people in the world. In front of our hotel, there was can you imagine? In India, in the middle of the countryside in India, a beautiful hotel. It is a special hotel. A Ferrari. And you say, sorry, I've seen this in Bangalore, which is a very big town, but never in a road here. So, and then I say, how can you drive this car on the road here? Because some of the roads, although they are getting better and better, they're not exactly for a Ferrari. You cannot drive fast there or anything like that. You know what they did to me? They put the cars in a trailer so they drive it and to the right places only. It is,
Okay.
it is a way, it's a mindset. It is, they are thankful, I suppose, for what they have, and they want to show that they've got more than what you think. And yeah, it's their point of view, you know. But on the other side, you've got people which have an incredible religious attitude. I mean, Hinduism is almost 4,000 years old. It's one of the oldest religion in the world. And you can see that all over the place. But I mean, yeah, you have to be thankful for what you have. And this is something which is probably in those places even more stronger, because throughout the years they have known that they've got their own castes, which are called, castes are groups of people,
Mhm.
and they know where they belong, and they accept it, and they learn how to accept it. Well, in the modern times, those idea of caste has gone away a little bit, and made actually India what an incredible country it is, because you do have really quite incredible people coming from there. Just look at all the people from big tech and what you call internet and everything. They're all Indians.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the biggest CEOs of the big internet companies, they are Indian. I mean,
Mhm.
get that, which is incredible. Anyway, but that being thankful every day. I just came in. I was sick. I was really sick. Um, Sick because of what you call that, health sick. I ate something which was not good. And I did suffer a little bit. But afterwards, I managed to get over that. And now I'm really, really thankful because I'm going to a next step, which is I feel good again. I feel myself again. And I can do whatever I couldn't do it a couple of days ago.
Mhm.
So, and I am really thankful for that. And I express my feelings. I always have my little namaste, thank you, because, you know, every day enjoy your little thankfulness for everything. It's not only once a year Thanksgiving, it's every day Thanksgiving, you know.
No, and we're surrounded by so much. When this is over, I'm going to walk into the bathroom. I'm going to turn on the light switch, and I'm going to have electricity. I'm going to go to the sink, and I'm going to fill a little glass of water, and it's going to be safe drinking water on demand. And you were exactly right, especially when you compare your life to some of the people that you see in India. Uh, uh, it's like we have got so much. We're just blind to all of the things that we should be grateful for. And I tell you what, get grateful that when you turn on the light switch, you've got electricity. When you drive down the road, you don't take your life in your hands because the roads are in such horrible shape. There's just so much for that we have. We're really rich, and uh, just open your eyes and you can see it. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, with those words, I think we're going to close it for today.
mhm.
We'll come back next week. And thanks a lot for seeing Transgurus. And bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.